Have you ever wondered why happiness always seems just out of reach? You think that buying something new or achieving a goal will finally fill that void, but the emptiness always creeps back in. You're not alone. Millions of people feel the same way. In this video, we're diving into why this happens and how you can break the cycle to find true, lasting happiness. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that happiness lies in the next purchase, the next achievement, or the next big milestone. We're conditioned to believe that once we get that new car, land that dream job, or buy the latest gadget, we'll finally feel fulfilled. But what happens after the initial excitement wears off? We're left chasing the next thing, hoping it will be the answer. Yet the cycle repeats itself. This endless pursuit is part of what psychologists call the hedonic treadmill. It's the idea that no matter what happens to us, good or bad, we tend to return to a relatively stable level of happiness. That new phone, the perfect house, or even a big promotion might give us a temporary high, but soon we adapt, and that initial burst of joy fades. The result? We find ourselves wanting more, needing more, just to maintain that fleeting feeling of happiness. This endless wanting leaves us feeling empty, never fully satisfied. No matter how much we get, it never seems to be enough. This constant need for more keeps us stuck in a loop of disappointment, where happiness always seems just out of reach. As we keep chasing after things that don't truly matter, we start to feel a deep sense of unhappiness. Over time, this can lead to stress, anxiety, and even depression. The pressure to always have more and never feel content can be overwhelming. It's a cycle that takes us further away from the happiness we're seeking, leaving us feeling sad, disconnected, and lost. So, what's the solution? Before I reveal it, let me share a short story that holds the answer you're looking for. Once upon a time, there was a man who desperately wanted to find treasure. He constantly prayed to God, saying, "Oh God, so many people have come into this world and buried their treasures underground, but now they're gone, leaving all those treasures behind. Please show me just one treasure." For a long time, this man's daily routine was the same. He would pray all night, asking for a treasure. One night, he had a dream. In the dream, an old man appeared and asked him, "What do you want from God?" The man replied, "I want a treasure." The old man said, "I'll give you some directions. Go outside the city, find the old fortress, and look for a certain hill nearby. Take a bow and arrow with you. Stand at the very top of the hill. Place the arrow in the bow, and wherever the arrow lands, that's where the treasure is." Next morning, when he went to the location described, he saw that all the signs were correct. He climbed to the top of the hill, ready to shoot the arrow. But then he realized that the old man hadn't told him which direction to shoot in. He said to himself, "I'll shoot in one direction first, and hope that's where the treasure is." So he placed the arrow in the bow, pulled it back with all his strength, and shot it toward the north. The arrow landed, and he started digging where it fell. But he didn't find any treasure. He thought, "I must have chosen the wrong direction," so he shot the arrow in another direction. But again, he found nothing. He continued this way, shooting the arrow in different directions and digging, but no treasure was found. After a while, the whole area was full of holes, but still, there was no treasure. Frustrated and disappointed, he started to complain and once again prayed to God for help. After some time, the old man appeared in his dream again. The man said, "Your advice didn't work. I didn't find the treasure." The old man asked, "What did you do?" The man explained, "I followed your directions, went to the place you described, found the hill, and I shot the arrow with all my strength, aiming toward the north first." The old man shook his head and said, "I never told you to shoot with all your strength, or to aim in any specific direction. I simply told you to place the arrow in the bow and wherever it falls, that's where the treasure is. The man realized his mistake and agreed with the old man. The next day, he returned to the hill, placed the arrow in the bow and released it. The arrow fell right in front of him. He dug where the arrow had landed, and there, under his feet, was the treasure. The moral of the story is that true happiness and fulfillment are often found within ourselves, rather than in external pursuits, just as the man's treasure was right under his feet. The true source of happiness lies within our own selves, and not in external achievements or possessions. By overcomplicating the process and looking in different directions, the man missed the treasure that was right in front of him. Similarly, we search for happiness in external things, such as wealth or success. But it is often found by simply looking inward and accepting that it resides within us. Finding happiness within involves a journey of self-discovery and acceptance. Start by cultivating self-awareness through practices such as mindfulness, meditation, or journaling to understand your true desires, values, and emotions. Embrace self-compassion and let go of negative self-talk, replacing it with positive affirmations and encouragement. Build resilience by viewing challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles. Focus on gratitude, acknowledging and appreciating the small joys in life. By fostering a sense of inner peace and contentment, you begin to realize that true happiness is not dependent on external circumstances, but is a state of mind nurtured from within. By learning to appreciate what we already have, practicing gratitude, and being kind to ourselves, we can start to break free from the cycle. We can see that real happiness isn't something we chase, but something we can find in our everyday lives. When we do this, we free ourselves from the constant need for more and start to feel at peace just being who we are. We've learned that true happiness lies within ourselves and in living in the present moment. I've made a video on how we can embrace the present, inspired by the wisdom of one of the most famous Persian poets, Omar Khayyam, and you can watch it right now.